sometimes these short cards, like what we had last night, it could be carried by one or two like really great wrestling matches. This show didn't have that. Instead, in between the War Games matches, we had John Cena and Dominik Mysterio, with Dom winning the Intercontinental title back with an assist from all the members of the Judgment Day, including the returning Liv Morgan. And they didn't go balls to the wall or anything in this match. The match itself, honestly, really wasn't all that different from the match that they had in Boston on Raw a few weeks ago. And that was as basic a match as you will ever see. But it worked because people just wanted to see John Cena do his spots. And they wanted to see John Cena win the Grand Slam, which he did. I was hoping, personally, I was hoping for a little more out of the match than we got last night. Because I know Cena's got it in him. Right? We saw it with Cody at SummerSlam. We saw it with Logan Paul in Paris. We saw it with AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. We didn't get that here. It was the usual Dirty Dom shenanigans, which was fine. I mean, I expected that to be a part of this, including a spot outside the ring where they played off the Penta injury from Raw last Monday, where he injured himself doing a Rana off the top of the barricade to Solo Sikoa. Only here, the bump that Dom took looked far more devastating than what happened to Penta on Monday. But here, Dom wasn't actually hurt. It gave Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez the chance to hit their finishers on Cena in the ring. And then all of a sudden, Dom was okay. So we went from Raquel and Roxanne interfering and being ejected to a ref bump to Finn Balor and JD McDonough getting involved to Liv Morgan getting involved and teasing a split with Dom by slapping him, only to then kick Cena in the dick and then hit him with a belt shot to help give Dom the title. One of the most overbooked matches of the entire year. And the crowd mostly ate it up because they liked Cena and they liked Dom since they were in San Diego. It wasn't all booze for Dom. And they just really also like seeing Liv Morgan back. And it's great that they have her back now. She really developed into one of the biggest names on the show before she got hurt. And now they can play it a few different ways. They can return to the tension between her and Finn Balor, right? Because Balor really doesn't like her, clearly. They could tease dissension between her and Roxanne Perez. They could put her back in the women's world title picture, right? They could do all three. But the key here was getting the belt off of John Cena before that final match. They had to. They had to get that championship off of him. And so it was the right outcome. And it's the biggest win of Dominik Mysterio's career. He now gets to be the man who beat John Cena, and maybe the last man to ever beat John Cena. If John Cena wins his final match, Dom can gloat about that too. And let's talk about that final match, because they are winding down this Last Time Is Now tournament, which has been a total dud so far. Gunther has had the two best matches in the entire thing. I like the one with Javon Evans a little bit more than his match with Carmelo Hayes on Monday, but they were both very good. Everything else outside of that has been completely forgettable. And it doesn't help that they've had two names bounced out due to injuries, shoulder injuries, that being Sheamus and Penta. There's some sort of shoulder plague going around this company. Sheamus, Penta, Seth Rollins, Liv Morgan, Chad Gable. No one is safe. But with Sheamus going down, they had The Miz replace him against LA Knight on SmackDown. The Miz, who already lost in a riveting battle with Jey Uso in the opening round. I mean, the generations will talk about this match that these two men had a few weeks ago. Miz played some tricks with the balls on Friday. I don't know how Nick Aldis allowed this, given that Miz's name was already chosen from the Tumblr once before, unless we're supposed to believe that everyone's name is in there twice. But he allowed it, and so we had LA Knight beating Miz to advance. And Solo Sikoa advanced over Penta due to Penta's injury. He wanted to continue. I guess his shoulder popped out, but they wouldn't allow him to continue, so Solo won. I don't get the impression Penta is going to be gone for very long. It could be a case where he's not able to wrestle next month. He's supposed to reunite the Lucha Bros with Rey Fenix against Dom and El Grande Americano, I think December 20th at the AAA show. I don't know if he'll be back in time for that. It's possible. It's possible. If he's not back in time for that, though, I don't see him being gone for too long. So that's the good part about that. But Solo Sikoa won this match, and that sucks because we could have had Gunther against Penta in the semifinals. But Brian Alvarez and then Sean Ross Sapp, they're all claiming that Solo Sikoa was always scheduled to win that match, which my brain just cannot comprehend. It's like, why? Because Solo was leading his team into that elimination match on Friday, so we got to keep him looking strong? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why would anyone intentionally book a Gunther Solo Sikoa match over a Gunther Penta match in this tour? I mean, just for the heel versus heel factor alone, but why would you do that? Why would anyone do such a thing on purpose? It's the story of this half-assed tournament. I mean, that really is it's the whole story right there in a nutshell. It's actually very on brand for them. You know, I gave them the benefit of the doubt on the Miz thing because if they had limited time to put together, because they taped 2 SmackDowns last week to give the wrestlers time off so they didn't have to work on Friday. So if they only got the news that day that Sheamus wasn't going to be cleared medically and they have 2 shows to tape, like I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Like, okay, they went with the Miz, like whatever. It is what it is. They had to put something together on short notice. But there's really no reason for me to give them the benefit of the doubt when almost every other decision they've made is safe and boring. Like, why am I giving them the benefit of the doubt? They don't deserve it. So we're left with Gunther against Solo and Jey Uso against LA Knight. So basically, it's Gunther against Jey Uso or LA Knight. They're going to give us another Gunther Jey Uso match, aren't they? Aren't they? I can't. I can't do it. I just can't do it. The way John Cena got screwed out of the title last night, I think there's a very good chance he's going to beat Gunther and he goes out with a win on December 13th. It would go against everything that John Cena probably believes in. Like, if it's up to him, I'm sure he would rather go out putting the other guy over. But I could see Triple H, making an executive decision and wanting him to, get the win on his way out. I likened it the other night to Tony Khan and Sting in AEW, where the belief is that Sting wanted to lose and assumed he was going to lose in his final match, but Tony Khan and maybe others insisted, like, no, like, you're undefeated and we're going to send you out with a win. But that's not the way that, if it were up to him, that's not the way that he would have gone out. And I can see the same situation playing out here with, John Cena, where they want him to get that win on the way out, give the fans the feel-good moment. For him to lose the way that he lost to Dom and then to be, let's say, put to sleep by Gunther, I will admit, like, that would be very anticlimactic. I think if I was in Paul Levesque's shoes, I would have Cena go over also. I would. I might feel differently if they went with an NXT talent or someone who could really use that win, especially if you went into this match with the Intercontinental title. But Gunther is not harmed if he loses to John Cena. The man lost to fucking Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Like, if he tapped out to Jey Uso, he can lose to John Cena. He'll live. And let Dom have that glory of being the last man to ever beat John Cena. That could be his thing.